chat. All right, let's do it.
We're just not talking yet.
Oh, you got your slide for... Okay.
Welcome to West USA Weekly, the podcast, your go-to source for everything real estate in Phoenix, Arizona. We're breaking down market trends, local insights, and the moves that matter most to Valley agents. Interviews, tips, and the latest from one of Arizona's top brokerages, all in one place. Let's dive in.
Good morning, West USA. Welcome to another edition of our Monday morning podcast. We appreciate everybody joining us today. We're going to help you grow your bottom line as I grow my bottom end. That's just what we do. All right, look at that.
There we go. Yeah,
all right, that's my
going.
tagline.
I like it.
I just make fat look good, but appreciate everybody joining us today. A little sneak peek of what we got going on today. I have no idea what we got going on today. It's been a while.
Welcome to Monday.
That's probably why it's blank.
Yeah. All right. Of course, we got Todd Menard here to give us a look at the numbers. And I'm going to share 3 tips when you're talking with one spouse and he says, well, my other spouse or my wife or my husband's already found an agent. So how do you navigate that? And then we got our crew from Agent Forum. Not only are they going to stop by to talk about media, but talk about AI and how it impacts and how it helps your listings. So we've got a lot going on today. As always, if you've got any comments or questions, please feel free to email us at podcast@westusa.com. We just got a handful of announcements. 12 ways to generate business without paying for leads class with our good friend Robert from Home Guard. That is going on August 19th from 11:30 to 1 p.m. at the Goodyear office. No idea what day of the week August 19th is. There's got to be a template. Like
Thursday.
Here's the deal.
Oh.
I'm no longer putting up flyers if you don't give me the information that I need.
But the date should get you at least 99% of the way
Well,
there.
see, Saturday is the 15th. I know that because it was
Today's
my
the
wife's
17th.
birthday. So 17th. So this would be Wednesday.
Wednesday.
All right, perfect.
I guess I was wrong. I said Thursday. All right, we're all a mess. Let's go to the next one. Let's see if we do better.
All right, open houses that work and produce leads. I tell you, there's just
This one's on Thursday.
Where's it at? Okay, Thursday, yeah, 10 to 11, and at the Goodyear office as well. So Leslie always does a great job.
She does.
Always
That's for
has
sure.
some great information when it comes down to generating leads from open houses. All right, Todd, I can't do it anymore. I can't handle Nick chirping in my ear, so I'm just going to hand the keyboard to you.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Today, we're going over the Greater Phoenix Metropolitan Market statistics for the week ending August 17th. Let's get right into the numbers. 83 days closed on market this past week, of 5.32 months supply. Absorption rate was at 18.81. Average list price this past week, $696,606. Average sale price this past week, $604,159. And our list price to sale price retention is at 97.28. Active inventory stayed almost identical within 15 units, 24,264 this week. We're at pending at 3,650 and closed units month to date at 2,356. New listings taken. Here's a silver lining, 1,900 up 6.4%. That helped because we did have more buyers in the marketplace. Days on market for active is at 92 and for closed at 83. Looking at the lower left-hand side where we deal with our price ranges of active inventory, gives you a chance to see how many units are available in each of the different price ranges, the days on market for that specific price range, and what percentage of the total inventory that price range represents. It's just a great way to try and bring it down from a 30,000-foot view to maybe a 12,000-foot view. If you're working in one of those price ranges, this is kind of some just immediate information if you get, asked by a consumer. And that's pretty much how you'll use this particular section. As far as the overall MLS, 68.64% of the inventory is under 600,000, 19.28% between 601 million, and 11.9% is properties listed at 1 million or more. So here we go with our spreadsheet where everybody gets to be the expert. Why? Well, because in the middle you get last year, same week, you get week over week, month over month, and year over year all on one slide. And understand that if you just know today's numbers, that doesn't mean anything. But when you can see a change from last week to this week, well, now you got a little bit of a story. And again, if you follow along, it gives you the opportunity to identify the trends before they actually arise. But please, I've always said this, if you're listening to national news, you're getting national information. It is not accurate to Arizona. If you're listening to Arizona and you're working in the Southeast Chandler market, then it is not representative of the Southeast Chandler market. And of course, we can dig that all the way down to Main Street. You are the most important person, the real estate licensee, because you can do this for that particular community that your client is either selling in or looking to buy. So looking at new listings, we're at 1,900 this week. That's good. We're looking for 2,400, but we just haven't seen that in a couple of months now. 1,786 is where we were last week. 1,913 last year. So again, when we look at this year versus last year, we're always trying to see, is the market getting better? Is it getting worse? What's happening? How about, is it following the cycles that we normally see? Because really, to be honest, people are back from vacation right now. And so we're beginning that September through December market right now. You should be having those conversations with sellers right now because you are in the fourth quarter. Your conversations are now in the fourth quarter. Looking at active inventory, we're at 24,264, pretty much flat. We were at 24,359. So again, we're still just a pinch below where we were last year, same period. 598 are coming soon. 18,462 are single family detached. New home construction is 2,587 and 23,698 properties that are non-distressed out of the total 24,264. So looking at pending this past week, if we look at listings as our sellers engaging, then we look at pending as, well, yeah, they were engaging and now buyers are engaging and making those properties go into escrow. So we're at 3,650 properties in escrow right now. And this is a point in time thing. So each week when we see it, we compare how's it going. 3,577 last week, not a big deal. 3,742 last year. So again, what you're seeing, please remember, when you're looking at pending, you're looking at properties that were either entered into pending yesterday or anytime almost in the last, could be up to 4 weeks. So, again, we look at week over week as a way to say what grew this past week. So we went from 3,577 to 3,650. We added about 70, 80, almost 80 properties into the marketplace. Looking at closed, we're sitting at 2,356. Again, we're not even halfway through the month. But, the signs are that we're lagging last year by about 14.5%. So that's not a good sign so far entering into week over week as we're looking at. Looking at month supply, so we're down to 5.32 from the 625 last week. Again, this lower section here is month to date. We changed this. This used to be week over week or same period last week, same period last month. But if you slide your eyes even farther to the right, what you're seeing is last year, same period. So again, this kind of gives you an opportunity to really see how it's, what's happening. So 5.32 is really where we're at. We're right in the middle of a neutral market. Even our national economists are saying something similar this past week, though. Average is at 696, sale price 604. We talked about that. 450 is the median. So when we look at the median price, we're actually trying to say, is the market taking off? Are prices jumping back up? And what's happening? And no, look at the salmon color in the center. We're at 450,000 last year. What's it say we're at right now? 450,000. So the market really overall price range wise has not moved. And again, slide your eyes way over the right in the blue. Look at how we finished July, 450. Look at how we finished June, 453. Look at last year, 449.9. So these are good signs. These are signs, again, justifying that the market is stable. 92 days for active, 83 for the close. We're looking for 70. So 83 is a little slow, but again, we're coming out of that time period of the summer where at the end of the summer, people take vacations, so they don't do a lot of real estate, and that's what we're seeing. Last number for the week is list price to sale price retention up just a pinch to 97.28. And that number is better than we were last year. So if I was to look at this total thing, somebody said, "Hey, Todd, what's the market like right now?" I would qualify that we're talking about your neighborhood, the city, the state. But if you're looking at it just in general for Arizona, the greater Phoenix metropolitan market, you can say that it's exceptionally stable. Sellers are engaging. We're got good people, meaning good numbers of new product being added to the marketplace. A few more people in the marketplace than we had over the last 2 months, but then again, still lagging from last year. We were at about 6,000 pending last year. So, 3,600, there's 2,400 people missing.
All right, I'm going to give you 60 seconds to answer this question. So I need a
Okay.
stopwatch on,
All right,
on
go.
him. Okay. You're sitting down with a new buyer. What are you saying?
Well, it depends on the question, but if you're asking me how the market is, I'll tell you interest rates are the same as, are the same as statistically over the last 40 years. They've been averaging 7%. We're below that. So it's borrowing money is favorable. Sale prices, as far as pricing is concerned, we're not really in a seller's market. So we're not pushing the price envelope up. So you should be able to get a good a home at a reasonable price. And again,
20 seconds.
Yep. That's how much I have left.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good then. Okay. So,
15.
But overall it's going to be, what does it cost you to close on this particular property? Get an estimated settlement sheet up front, find out what the numbers are, and then let me help you negotiate that into the transaction.
Perfect.
Look at that.
Good stuff.
Right on.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
All right. That's awesome.
Okay.
All right, Todd. Good stuff as usual. All right. Well, Todd just went ahead. Is just pressing buttons like crazy. This is what my mom does right here. But anyways, hey, this is a good time to bring in No Fun Nick
Hey,
into the
everybody.
conversation.
Nice to see you
So
this
apparently
morning.
we just can't call people anymore.
You can. You just have to make sure that you're not calling whomever you want, whenever you want to, about solicitation of purchasing homes. So this has actually been a law since 1991. So if you haven't been following the TCPA laws, you've been breaking laws for quite a long
What year
time.
were you born, dude?
That's not a part of the conversation. The laws were written in 91. So for West USA agents, we have created a very efficient website to keep you in compliance and out of trouble, which is what we do here at West USA. If you are not a West USA agent, you can listen, please, and you should be following TCPA rules, but the website is only for our realtors. You as an agent are technically, according to the federal government, a telemarketer. You are soliciting individuals for the purpose of them purchasing or renting goods, services, or property. That's a direct quote from the law. I've read it multiple times. So with that, and with a lot of the beefing up of the TCPA laws back in 2024 and 2025, we wanted to create a way for realtors, especially West USA agents, in one place to be able to search both the federal do not call list and the newly laud is word, internal do not call list. So part of what the TCPA laws did in 2024 and 25, they require companies, brokerages, insurance companies, every industry where an individual might be soliciting for goods, services, to have an internal do not call list. That means if I'm on the phone with Todd and I are having a conversation and Todd says, take me off your list, that's just not Todd saying, take me off your list, Nick. That's Todd saying, take me off of every West USA agent list that works at West USA. So I am required by law to go in and add Todd to a list. Furthermore, before I call Todd, I have to double check he's not on these lists. Now, All that to be said, this is only in the situation that you are calling Todd first. You are the instigator of the conversation. Todd has not reached out to you in any way. He's not registered on a website. He's not called on a listing sign. He's not walked into an open house. He's not commented on social media. He is not engaged with me in any capacity. I have on my own, or maybe through purchasing of a lead, gotten Todd's information. And so if I buy a lead and Todd's info is on there, I am required by law to verify he's not on the do not call and the internal do not call list.
Both.
That doesn't mean you can't call Todd. It just means you need to be very intentional in the conversation. So for this morning's purposes, we just wanted to make sure all of our agents are aware that WestUSADNC.com exists. I am going to be out in all office meetings this week. I was in all the meetings last week. So this week I've got, I think, Surprise Chandler and Arrowhead coming up. I'll be out talking in much more detail about the laws, how they impact you, how you can utilize West USA DNC to efficiently keep yourself out of trouble. And so if you weren't planning on coming to the meeting, please do. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us. But what I want you to do as soon as we're done with the podcast, if you haven't already, is go to WestUSADNC.com. You are going to register for a site with your @WestUSA email address, and then you'll be able to very easily start searching for phone numbers and make sure they're not on the federal do not call list.
Now, I mean, this is why we call you, No Fun Nick.
Yep.
But I speak just to a moment. I mean, this is becoming very expensive for agents. This is just not a matter of us saying, hey, listen, we don't want you to have any more fun and stop calling people and stop harassing people. There's attorneys, people are suing other people over this, and some agents are getting big ticket items.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know I am no fun, Nick, but I promise that I don't sit around the office just thinking of things to make agents' lives more challenging. This is a real thing. Brokerages have settled for more than they did for the NAR settlement because they were training agents how to call through FSBOs, expireds, etc. And there was no push, no emphasis, no focus, no conversation about double checking federal lists. To get to the agent level, because this is a law, because it's a law, you are the one who's going to be picking up the fines. So to your point, Mike, there are individuals who do this for a living. They literally sue people for a living based on TCPA laws and breaking the do not call list. So there is an individual who's training consumers on how to do this. We know multiple West USA realtors have been hit with demands and have had to pay out thousands of dollars because this is a law. This would be like if you were driving 75 in a 60 and got pulled over and called your car insurance company and said, hey, I got a speeding ticket. Will you cover this for me? They're going to laugh at you. It's the same thing when it comes to the TCPA laws.
Yeah, and it goes even into it's deeper, but without getting into the minutia today, when somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I just talked to so and so, and they said they were looking for a real estate agent, and I referred you, and so here's their number." That's what we're talking about. You've got to stop right there. The best form of a referral, if you're giving one to someone else or someone said, hey, Todd, I have a referral for you, it would be, could you do me a favor? Could you be on the call and introduce me to them? Or could you send me some type of mutual correspondence with the other person and me on it where they're saying, yes, I'd like to have Todd, not a realtor, not a licensee, but Todd call me. That's really the kind of specificity you're going to have moving forward.
Yeah. So come to the office meetings, you can get a lot more detail.
Well, that's why whenever we're talking about referrals, we have our clients, when they're going to refer us, do a joint text.
That's the best way to do it.
Nick, meet Todd, Todd, meet Nick, and
No
boom,
fun, Nick.
go for it. No fun, Nick. All right, my last question is then, what on this, how am I handling open houses? People come in, I'm having them fill out information cards. Am I having to have some sort of disclosure on the information card? How does that work?
If someone is reaching out to you, voluntarily giving you their contact information, asking you to contact them in any capacity, they are opting into your communication for 6 months. Now, again, if you want to get into more detail, we can have that conversation in the meetings this week.
All right. Well, I ran my number through here and I'm on the do not call list, but I'll tell you what, every day my phone rings
So again,
Yeah,
we talk about this in the meetings.
Yep.
Because you use your phone number, your personal cell phone number for the practice of business, you do not get to get coverage
Even if
by
it's
the
on
federal
there.
do not call list.
Yep.
Oh, no one told me that.
Well, I just did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense now.
Yeah. Now he's fun, Nick.
He's not,
Look
he's
at
not.
Todd.
No, he's not. You just ask his kids. All right. Anyway, so
Moving on.
all right. So we get this all the time, and especially I do a lot of work with our Air Force, our pilots, and our airmen over there at Luke Air Force Base, and these guys and gals are always moving in from other states, and typically, you know, the one spouse, this is the scenario. The one spouse is the pilot. The other one is at home doing all the homework and the research. And then I typically get introduced to the pilot and we have a conversation. And then I find out, oh, but my wife or my husband or my spouse has already found an agent. But we've all been in those
Been there. Yep.
situations. So what do you do? How do you handle that? And that's what our 3-pack is on today.
Good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
So the first one is you can't immediately go to frustration. You know, the moment that you wear defeat on your face, oh gosh, the spouse is already talking to an agent. I don't have a shot at this, and I wear that defeat. It shows it. They sense it. You cannot show disappointment. And so for me, it's my mind. It's a mindset. My mindset automatically changes to, okay, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but there's still a huge opportunity here. And it's an opportunity to actually shine, because competition sometimes makes us go above and beyond. It makes us really hone in our skills, because you're going to have to bring your A game to the table.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think that's it, Mike. Because when you're looking at it from a perspective of bringing your A game, or that challenge as it pops up, what it's really saying to you is it's giving you an opportunity to demonstrate further that because maybe the reason they think they want to use somebody else is because they said they discount their commission, right? I mean, that's obviously usually part of this equation at some particular point. But you know, and we never, to Nick's point on the book, never split the difference. If you haven't read that yet, Nick will get you the information. But the moment you show frustration, the moment that you try to rebuke that, is when you've lost the deal. So, or at least that client. So what you really want to do is dig deeper and show them more of why they should be hiring you versus the other agent.
Yeah, Nick, it's like I don't know. Did you play baseball?
I did. Okay,
so you know, I played at a competitive level in my day, about 50 pounds ago. Now I run a 32-40. Takes me a while to get down get down that line. But you know, there's the difference of, hey, I'm going to go up to bat. It's the first inning. I'm the leadoff hitter. It's not a lot of stress, and you know, I want to try to get a hit, as opposed to it's the 8th inning and runners are on 2nd and 3rd, and it's like, what would you rather what would you rather have? For me, that competitive juice, I'll take the 8th inning all day long.
Yeah, I mean, your mindset is 100%. If you are comfortable and confident with your value that you bring to the table, no matter who you're working with, this is an opportunity for you to be able to show that value. And so when you go into this conversation, and any conversation, you should be prepared to get hit like this, because then your face doesn't respond when your mouth doesn't. But I mean, again, Todd said it, I would highly recommend reading Never Split the Difference. This is a perfect situation for that book. Yeah. But when you get that comment, that's fantastic. Of course, you both should be comfortable with the realtor that you choose to help you navigate one of the biggest decisions and financial journeys that you're going to have in your lives. So now the husband going, oh, or the spouse that you're talking to is like, well, did they say this? What are they doing? What are they going to do to help us? So you're already adding that level of question while you're showing like, yeah, I'm very proud of you for doing your due diligence.
Would you rather have them tell you or not? You know, correct. So if you're prepared for them to tell you, then you're prepared when they don't.
Yep.
All right. Todd, you ever read that book? I think it's called The 5 Levels of Communication by Michael Bayer.
Mayer.
Mayer.
Yeah. No, not more than at least 20 times.
All right. So this is an element that I took directly from the book of just, you know, again, don't show the frustration and the defeat, but you go into curiosity mode
Mhm.
and you begin to
Favorite
ask
word.
questions. Because when you start asking, and I get, real specific, and you start asking pointed questions, it will make them question of, okay, who might be the right agent, or maybe we shouldn't just settle on the first person that we talk with. So some examples, and I go, well, how does your spouse know this agent? I had a guy talking with him for 2-3 years at Luke Air Force Base, and he came to me and he goes, man, he goes, I gotta tell you, we're gonna finally listen to you. We're gonna buy a home, but my wife's got an agent, and I'm like, well, how does your wife know the agent? Well, it's her sister, and I'm like, well, okay, well, but and I'll finish that story,
Yeah.
but ask, has your spouse done business with them before? Have you done business with them before? What kind of track record do you have with them? Why is your spouse gravitating towards them? Where did your spouse find them? Was it on Zillow? Was it a personal referral? The more information that you get, the more that you know how to navigate the situation. What type of real estate do they specialize in? Do they specialize in military and VA products, which is, and so forth? And I always love, what is their experience level? Have you ever asked them how many homes have they sold? How many homes have they sold in that neighborhood? How many airmen or how many pilots have they sold homes to?
Yeah, this is probably right here. Two things. Number one, I love the phrase "stay in curiosity." Oh my gosh, that works at every aspect and every angle of your life. It really widens the gap between what you hear and what you respond to, and that's where intelligence is. That's where skill comes from. It's not what you say up front; it's how you handle the question. That's really what they're listening to. But these different things, I mean, none of these. Here's what I like about that, Mike. This is that second part of it. None of these are accusational or
Mm-mm.
challenging the other agent or saying that you're
Exactly.
better than them or anything. What it is you're getting the person to think. I love it.
Well, your goal in working with those that have met you or talking to you or in your sphere of influence is to allow them the best opportunity they have to have a successful transaction. That's our mindset as realtors. That's what this business will never be turned over to iBuyers, because human beings want to work with human beings that they trust and that are going to do the best for them. You're asking these questions because you're legitimately concerned the other person might not care about the people getting through the transaction. They might care more about the commission. So you're asking questions just so that you feel comfortable if they choose not to work with you to go speak with this other person. And it allows them to see that you truly do care. So even if this transaction doesn't go to you, the way you handle the conversation up front will still result in referrals if the transaction doesn't go as smoothly as the individuals wanted it to go.
And it doesn't have to happen. You're not necessarily, you want to solve the question today, but what's more important is you
Exactly.
plant the seeds in their head. So when they go back maybe to that other agent thinking that, oh yeah, we made our decision, we're not going to use Todd, we're going to use the other agent. And they go back there, that they now become cognizant of the differences, and they may turn around and come right back. You just don't know. You don't know when that seed's going to actually work. So
All right. So
yeah.
then what do you do next? And as I bring in the third point, this is something that our team has developed and I feel like perfected over the years. We're incredibly intentional about this line and how we get that appointment. And we are simply asking for a seat at the table. We are not asking to push out the other agent. We're not even asking for an appointment. We're not even asking for an interview. Todd, I just want a seat at the table. I want that opportunity. And sometimes that seat is on Zoom. And when you're asking for a seat at the table, it feels less threatening. It's more conversational. It's just an opportunity for us to talk. This is, and it appeals to their emotion. Like, I'm not asking for an appointment. I'm just simply asking just for an opportunity to sit down and have a conversation, seat around the kitchen table. So it appeals to the emotional side. I find people find it harder to decline. But as we started off, this is your opportunity. So you better bring your A game. So back to that pilot I was talking about. So we actually did that. I went through this process. I said, all right, I don't want to give out his name. I said, man, all I need is a seat at the table. I love the opportunity to hop on Zoom with you, and well, I wanted to do it in person, but I had to settle for Zoom for you and your spouse, and let's just talk about what we do and so forth. It was an hour plus long Zoom. The spouse was like, she was just really struggling with, okay, my sister has only done 2 deals, and Mike and Ryan obviously know what they're doing. And he told me for 2 weeks they tormented over this, and they had a lot of discussions. I'm like, listen, dude, I'm not here to send you to divorce court. Um, so do what you need to do. And so at the end of the day, they went with the sister, and during the whole process, he called me because I had earmuffs because no broker wants to hear this, but I was like talking him through situations.
There's a difference, and you'll see it. It's on my market slides. If you go to the very last page, there's a difference between getting the appropriate information when you need it and the word advice. Advice comes from someone you have a contractual exclusive relationship from that is obligated to have your best interest at heart. When you deal with educational information, it's experience that maybe you're assisting. I understand what you're saying, Mike. You're using the phraseology that is, don't interfere with another agent's transaction. That's the part I totally want to make sure everybody understands. I'm not saying is a good idea either. But, sometimes these people, you can provide some information and then they can go back and ask, and you're not going to damage the relationship. You're just going to make the person have more information to go back and satisfy whatever it is that they're thinking. And you become the person that everybody wants to do business with. He won't refer his sister-in-law anymore.
and again, that's the point. If you handle this the right way, if the transaction goes even okay, you were still there. You were the positive influence. You were there to help support if they needed it. You handled the conversation well. You did not put the commission in front of the person. So after the transaction closes, if and when they have friends, relatives, well, I guess not relatives, but friends that are around them, they're most likely going to refer you over, and you're not losing the relationship that you built because of one transaction, because you are a bigger thinker than one transaction. You think long term. One transaction can turn into multiple referrals, so it's okay to say goodbye to one to get others.
It's funny, the term seat at the table, I was using ChatGPT to walk me through the XRP, Ethereum, the whole Bitcoin crypto concept, and so it brought up a seat at the table, and I kept thinking to myself, well, I want to buy some Bitcoin. It's like, no, you don't. What you really, so anyway, it took me a little bit for me to wrap my head around this, and
I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around what you're saying right now too.
All right, well, I'm going to try to finish. No, thank you. But what came out of it was, well, wouldn't you like to have more advisors in making a decision? And I'm like, well, of course, I want, talented information. He goes, that's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about anything more than, if you were going to make a decision, who are the advisors you'd like to have around you? And that's really what this means. It's kind of like, if you're going to go into a real estate transaction, let me put a bunch of people that are experienced around the table and let me learn from them so that I can do the best thing, the greatest possible thing I can do in my transaction.
Yeah. And I'll just end with this. This not only is it just for when the spouse has found another agent, this is when you're talking with anyone and they're talking with other agents. You're simply just asking for a seat at the table. This is one of the most important and most expensive decisions that you're going to make in your life outside of having children. Is it going to hurt having another voice at the table?
It can never hurt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
All right.
Yeah. Good.
Thanks, all right,
Mike.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Todd.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm gonna head out just so that everybody doesn't understands why we're gonna need a couple of microphones for the next segment. So thank you for being here.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Next week. Bye.
All right, we are excited. We are going to bring in the crew, Casey and Taylor from Agent 4M. If you're not familiar with them, they are our go-to company when it comes down to not only just installing posts and our signs and our lock boxes, but their specialty is photography. And guys, I just always maintain, Nick and I, every first Monday of every month, we do our new agent orientation, and we always have the discussion about green time, red time. And red time are those activities that you're doing that aren't making you money. And if your week is consumed with red time, you're not bringing home any money. And so what are those things that what are the red time activities that you can turn into green time? And this is where you guys come in. It is doing those things. Like, I don't have time to go out and I do have time to go out and install a sign and a post and a lockbox. But if I'm doing that, I'm not
back out.
Yeah, I'm not making money. And so welcome, guys. And I'm going to hand you the keyboard, space bar. We'll go to the next slide, but we appreciate you guys joining us. And more importantly, we appreciate the partnership that we have developed with you guys here at West USA Realty.
We appreciate it. It's been a great time with you guys. It's you guys helped our business develop, and hopefully we're helping all the listing agents develop their business as well.
All right, so I think today we're going to talk about AI, aren't we?
Yeah,
All
you
right.
kind of have been talking about it. I heard like Bob. Kind of
yes. I have. I was sitting there with my chat open, and I'm like, all right, if I were to give you a name, what would I name you? And we settled on Bob because that's short for Bob's Big Boy. It recognized I was into burgers. And then like 3 weeks later, I said, hey, Bob, do you know my name? And he's like, no, you have not. You have not told me that. I was devastated, Nick.
We have to tell it your name.
Well, I don't know.
Also, I just want to set the precedent here, the expectation. What Casey and Taylor are about to go over via AI is going to be vastly different than what Mike is using his AI for. So let's just,
I was just using it as a segue.
100%.
I want to make him
100%.
feel involved.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Before we jump into the AI, I just want to reiterate what we do. If you guys haven't heard of us, we are a listing media company, bread and butter being real estate. It's been great. As Mike said, we do inventory, install, all of the things. Some agents love us to keep their signs, lock boxes. Some we just install the post and they keep that. So it's really up to you guys. We have a lot of agents transferring over. They prefer to let us do a trial per se. So photos and video. And if they like that, then we go and pick up inventory either from their home, another company, whatever it may be. All of that is free of charge. Well, you pay for the photos, but we're happy to drive and get some inventory for you guys. We really cover it all. It's pretty self-explanatory, but anything you're seeing on the MLS, Zillow, we cover. So all of your 3D tours, 2D, 3D floor plans, drone, Twilight, we do it all. We always say if you have a question or wondering if we do something, it's most likely yes. If you call, you'll get me or Casey or someone on the phone, and we'll probably just say yes, and then we'll hang up and figure it out after the fact. So
Exactly.
we're happy to help with really anything. Obviously, Zillow has been a big thing recently, especially with the 3D tour and showcase. So we do want to reiterate that yes, we do that. We are an approved provider, but we do everything else as well. We've had a lot of agents kind of using us for just Zillow, which is awesome. But we do everything. So even if your listing may not need Zillow or the tour, or it doesn't make sense, we can do other things as well. So as always, just ask. But I just kind of wanted to give a little reminder of who we are and what we do. But obviously we're talking mainly about AI today. So we truly believe in building your portfolio. So the photos, the videos, the things you did for your past client, I think show to any new potential buyers, sellers, whatever it may be, what you're willing to do. And we just think AI is another thing to add to your belt. So Casey will talk a lot about the details. I'll jump in here and there. I'll preface by saying AI is a crazy concept, but I am definitely on the train of, if you're not at least thinking about it, hey, number 2, be curious. Yeah. I think you're going to miss out on a lot. If you're not on this train, I recommend at least looking into it. We'll talk about a little bit more about what we can do and what the AI would look like. But I think it's huge. So just be open to it.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm buckled in.
I think she's doing good. I don't need to say anything else. I'll just sit here.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right. So everybody knows what AI is. Everybody should be using it in some way, form in their business.
Mhm.
We're using it in our businesses. We use what really got me into wanting to have an AI agent for our media company is because Taylor and I do answer most of the phones, but there's a lot of questions people ask on our website that aren't getting answered. So they're calling us asking just really simple, basic questions an AI agent could be answering. And after we built that, we realized this same kind of thing could be used for kind of like a rider with a QR code. Somebody's driving by a house you have listed. They take a scan of that QR code and then they ask, tell me about this house. It actually shows them pictures of the house because we did the media, we did the videos, we did the Zillow 3D tour. It'll tell them if it has a gas stove. If you upload your MLS data to the AI agent, it'll give them what information you want them to get them within the legal realm.
Mhm.
So you don't want them to answer fair housing questions like if
Is
the
the
neighbors
neighbor
are nice,
nice?
or is it a good neighborhood. Certain things that you can't technically answer, it refers you to your actual agent. You name your agent whatever you want to call.
Bob.
What do we
Bob.
call them? Bob. They'll know your name. We build it so every listing that we put into it, we build it, we put it through a bunch of questions to make sure it's not going to answer any wrong question, and it'll be in your voice. It'll say it's an AI agent. It's not going to pretend to be you at any time. So and then with the back office, it also writes your MLS descriptions based on the photos that you're inputting. So if you did the photos with us, it'll look at the pictures and write an MLS description based on the photos.
Oh.
So it makes it a lot easier. Obviously, you can go in there, tell it,
Edit.
So then are you generating these riders for us with the QR codes? Is this like a one-stop shop type thing?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, everything will be so you get up to 5 listings at our base package, and each of those QR codes, 5 listings at a time, and then you can take them to the next listing. Each listing it'll change. You can
Mhm.
also share the QR code takes you to the chat's website basically, so you can share that website on your Facebook and your different websites, different things like that, and then you can also share it in your Instagram. We can connect it to your only the people on this podcast will know this part. We can connect to your Facebook Messenger and your Instagram Messenger.
Oh.
We're not advertising that part yet because it's a little bit of extra work on the back end for us. So only the podcast people will hear that.
Yeah. I think I want to reiterate, like, this is to fill the gaps, right? The 11 p.m. text that you're not going to see till the morning, most likely is an answer that we can train your AI to answer. And then from there, it'll say they want to schedule a showing. It will say, hey, if you gave it availability, it will give availability. Okay, I'll let the agent know. They'll reach out to schedule. It can do really anything. So as far as like the buyer facing, it'll answer those questions. It can start to book on your behalf. It'll pull name, number, obviously if they give it to us. And then from there, that you then have a hot lead that you're waking up to in the morning. So this is kind of like a virtual assistant. I mean, it is, it's doing the back end work for you for when you're in a meeting, when you're sleeping, things like that. So you can wake up to, hey, I got a open house showing, I'm going to book, whatever it may look like. And then obviously you kind of get the report on the back end. So how many people are actually using this? Is it worth it? Are people scanning the QR code?
Are
Things
these
like that.
alerts coming to my phone? Like you say, I wake up and it's been working for me at night. Am I having
Mhm.
to log in to check activity, or am I getting some sort of notification to log in and check activity, or something has come into my phone?
However you want to set it up, but there is an app you'll download, and then you'll get notifications when you wake up, or you can actually get involved in a chat if it starts talking about a listing that they're at, and the chat's talking to them. You can actually look at it and take over the chat if you want.
Oh, okay.
So it's that granular. Every agent's a little bit different. Every
Yeah.
brokerage is a little bit different. So we have a big questionnaire at the beginning when we're signing everybody up, exactly how their voice is, what kind of information they want. Do they want a weekly report? Do they want access to the app? It's pretty. It can be really all inclusive or hands off, depending on how the agent wants to run it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we still have some agents that have BlackBerry, so that might be a problem. I know what office they're out of.
I was
Nick.
gonna make an Android comment, but you're gonna buy an Android here pretty soon. So this is phenomenal. I have a lot of questions. I'm gonna try to limit them so I don't explode you guys because this is great. So if I am, so I just want to reiterate what you said, Taylor, because this is important. And I think a lot of people are starting to use AI too much as a crutch and walk back from the customer support piece of all of this. We want to, as you said, fill in the gaps when we are busy, when we're sleeping with our children, our families. Getting that family time back is why this is important, but it's not a set it and forget it. You still need to be the person on the other end. So being able to jump into a chat mid-conversation is hugely important and very valuable. So I want to just make sure agents realize that that's not, you're not giving up that part of it. This is just enhancing when you are able to take a break from business because you are working 24/7, like your slide says. When it says book homes on your behalf, so book showings on your behalf. So that is, how am I giving it my availability? Is it integrating with my calendar? What does that look like?
Google Calendar, so or Outlook Calendar, depending on which calendar, even the Apple Calendar. So you just sync it up. You give, if you have multiple calendars that you're running, like we have a whole bunch of photographers that run, so we sync them all up. So our AI can see which calendars are what, then able to select. So you can connect it, and then if you can give it rules, like if you only want to schedule bookings during this time, or it'll just send you a message. You can do it yourself. Just depends on how much access you want to give it to book it for you.
It's really catered to the agent. I mean, we can also have it set up to say, you know, the AI is asking, when are you available? All right, the agent will reach out and let you know. It doesn't have to be like it's doing everything. Again, I mean, we keep saying it, but it's filling the gap, getting a response right away. I mean, if I were a buyer and I knew my realtor had this, I'd be excited about it.
Will it pour a cocktail for me?
It would not yet.
You train it. So, I mean, if you train Bob to do that, I think we could get it done.
So we're really big on at Agent 4M is our media helps you get your next listing. Not only sell this listing, but you bring your media that you made from the previous listing. And that's one of the reasons people choose you over their sister-in-law, because of the media you provide. One of our huge leads or gets for our listing agents is our 3D floor plan. It shows the pool, shows all the house in one picture, and people just love that. And we're told constantly that gets the person the next listing, because the homeowners love that when they're presenting their house. And this will be the same thing. If you put a QR code in front of their house and it answers the buyer's questions all the time, the homeowner's going to feel like, or the seller's going to feel like you guys are paying attention, trying to get every piece of activity.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, boy, it better work, because how many of my sellers are going out and testing it? You know what I'm saying?
It'll work.
It works amazing. And you go on our website, you can even test it. We have some examples. You can throw questions at it, see what it answers.
So it works 60% of the time. 100%
of the times it works 60%.
I think that's what you do, though, to set that expectation. When you set this up, you tell your seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, go out front lawn, scan the QR code and start asking it questions, and then let us know kind of your response to those, or its response to your questions. That's a great way to get it to utilize it. And then they're telling their friends and their family, my agent's awesome. They set up this AI bot that I can ask questions whenever I want to. You're thinking forward with your business. You're not just walking through the house and taking some photos. You are developing a marketing platform to provide more value to your clients and your customers. This is phenomenal.
Yeah. We just went to a broker like open house, and they had like the QR code out, and that was kind of our first tester, if you will. And so we were, I mean, actually telling people like, ask it something it won't know. So we had agents, agents, they're asking everything they possibly can, testing the questions it shouldn't answer. But it's good. I mean, if there's not a question, or if there's a question it doesn't know, it's easy to change that.
So you made that point twice on. I really want to hit this home, because there's a lot of services out there now run by AI. A lot of companies try to break into the real estate market because they see a lucrative industry, and they don't understand fair housing laws. They don't understand the guardrails that need to be put up against a chatbot. And so they're setting up websites for realtors, and the realtors don't know. They hire the ad that comes across their Instagram. Unfortunately, you need to make sure, if you are going to utilize a system for AI that's chatting with consumer, you speak to the developer and ask the question, what fair housing guardrails have been created? And when they look at you like you've got four heads, hang up immediately and call Agent 4M.
Exactly.
Let's check out. So I know we're probably asking questions that are on other slides. So let's get. So
honestly, Casey's jumping the gun. This is kind of like, he's talking about the QR code. So I mean, we've already talked about this, but this is obviously a very rough example of what a rider that we could attach at the top for you. Obviously, that QR code would take you to that listing specifically, where you can then be asking questions, things like that. I think.
And if you're watching this on your TV, not your phone, you can actually scan that and test out 3 different types of listings.
Fingers crossed I did the right QR code.
I'm pretty sure we did. But there'll be a luxury listing, 55 plus community listing,
Just
and
like examples.
regular listing, all examples. And you can
Oh,
ask it.
so then I would get one QR code. It's not like a specific QR code per listing.
You would get one per listing.
And then the options of all my listings pop up.
I mean, if you wanted it that way, you could do it that way. But
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, it can pop up that way, or you can just be individual.
Each one is individual because it pops up in front of that house.
Gotcha.
You guys may have said this and I missed it. Their AI's name is Ace. Ace is actually way cooler than Bob, but
Ace,
That's Agent for M's AI.
it is our AI. We just we were using another generic one, kind of like what you were saying before. It doesn't know real estate, doesn't know anything specific. And anytime anybody would ask it a question, it didn't know the answer, and we ended up getting the phone call. So we created Ace.
I envision my writer up there is going to say, "Ask Lil Nick about this home." I'm gonna go with Lil.
oh, we're
Nick.
going
There you
back to
go.
Little Nick. We're not no fun Nick anymore.
Lil Nick,
Okay.
Lil Nick,
All
not
right.
little, Lil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get a notification. You get in your weekly report. You get how many scans, what the conversations were. If you don't want the app to tell you, you can get a report and you get the conversations. So what's great about this is everybody using it as a realtor, and AI learns as it keeps going. So the more everybody uses it, the more
Better.
people scan, ask questions. We'll know more how many questions come up. and
Nick
what
is
the
going
ones-
to
I
town
love
over-
Ace. I love Ace. We're becoming friends right now.
You're probably a good person to test it. We should have sent it to you.
I'm
while
asking a
ago.
lot of questions that no one should ask.
So this is probably a lot of information, but if you want to know the nitty gritty, obviously it's all on our website, and it's probably best to call us, especially if you're new to AI. But it's pretty straightforward. I mean, we have that first column that is like an add-on. So you go on our website, you're booking just photos, and say you're adding a post, you can add AI. So that would just be your listing chatbot. That's just your QR code, and that just takes you to the chat about that specific listing. You're not getting
all the other stuff.
Yeah, all the other stuff that comes with if you're a member, which is one of the either AI agent or the pro, which Casey knows more about the details there.
So the solo is important if you want to test it out, or you just
Mhm.
want it on one listing. Maybe we can connect it. The reason it's a little bit more is because we have to create a QR code and a rider just for that one listing. We're going to keep it live for 6 months, so that's just a one-time payment, and it just constantly it gives you your MLS description if you want it, lead capture, all that. You get all the stuff in your AI agent, but it's just for one listing. AI agent is $99 a month, but it's for up to 5 listings. We provide all of our community photos and videos to everyone, which I think is huge, especially if you're trying to build your social media following.
Well, I think $99 a month for 5 listings. That's
Well,
a stupid
Only for the
good
first
price.
100.
for the first 100 people, you're going to love the next slide though, because it gets even better. Wait, there's more.
I
But
should
I
put
get
it-
a
I
free,
should've-
I get a free Ginzu fillet knife.
So for the
Sure, whatever that
99,
is.
for the first 100 agents that sign up for this, West USA, as always, are the first people really
To hear
hearing
about
about
it.
this.
Yeah.
We haven't advertised it. We haven't sent an email out about it. This podcast is
Yet.
the grand opening of it. I don't know what the word would be for this.
Launch.
Launch.
This is
The launch. There we
the
go.
Launch party.
So, but what we do is include all of our community photos and all of our community videos. We're building up our video library. It's over 300 communities that we have right now for photos.
Mhm.
And if you need something for your content, you need something for your AI, we have a free AI section where it builds your MLS. If you use our media, it'll pull in your media and create coming soon, sold, all this kind of Instagram worthy stuff. And if you don't have a listing, maybe you're trying to get more listings, you have access to all those community photos and videos to keep your social media going with those community shots.
Social media is huge if you're not using it right now.
And then the pro, we haven't started it yet because there's a lot more details. Like Nick was saying, you don't want to call the wrong people. So we want to make sure that is working perfectly and checking things before. Right now, we just want people that are reaching out to us to be responded to. The Pro, we're going to have a lot more database, a lot more spheres telling people happy birthday, things like that. But we want to make sure it is compliant with everything as well.
Mhm.
So that is coming soon, but
Yeah.
that's at a great price as well.
Well, so I have questions, but I want to see what the next slide is. I don't want to jump the gun here.
Oh, you just took over the keyboard.
I did.
Okay, so this is good. So okay, so walk me through. I sign up for either package 1 or package 2, and I've got my first listing. Okay, obviously, I think probably when I'm on the Agent Forum website and I'm selecting my photography and things like that, am I selecting a box that I'm going to add this to this AI, and what is that process look like?
So if you are an existing client and you sign in, you could either set up a call with us or you can input all your information. It'll ask you questions about your personality, how you answer text, you use emojis, frequently asked questions, things, how you would.
Emojis.
I always say that wrong.
Emojis.
Emojis.
I don't know why he's.
Anyway.
Don't worry, he's not setting up your AI.
So it puts it all together. And then if we have existing, like you're using us, so we have some existing listings, we would automatically connect those unless you tell us otherwise not to put those in. Then we run out, put a QR code sign writer on any listing. So the same with any existing clients that we have now, we would do the same thing, attach anything that is existing to that. And you'll have a special code that will give you the 15% off if you're one of our members. So that special code tells us to link the listing that we're about to do to your membership.
Okay.
So it'll put it together.
So then you go out and get the MLS listing and link it all together, or am I sending it to you? Or
so if you have it on the MLS already, we can do a screenshot and upload it. If you have the information, we can upload it.
Gotcha.
Or if you want to do it yourself, you can upload it. Because sometimes the way we have it set up now is if you do a screenshot, there's a lot of private information on there. So we automatically remove homeowners' information, gate codes, realtor, like extra information that they don't need, combinations, stuff like that. We make sure that's not on there and it doesn't get answered. And it goes through our chat check process. So we ask it all. We have standard questions, and if it answers any of them, we go back in, make sure it doesn't mention that. And then it's free to test on your listings. Were you gonna say something?
Nope.
Okay.
I was, and then I forgot. So.
And then, like I said, on our website, there is a free tab. So if you want to get an MLS description done, if you want to get social media posts done, that's all at no cost. You can test how our systems work. And if you are one of our clients already, you get free stock community photos and videos in any community you're in.
So if I'm using the AI tool and I'm a media client, I can select the neighborhood, the community that I'm building a post for, and then you guys have your database of all the images you've taken of that community, that neighborhood, and I can select which ones I want to utilize for that post.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
Or if you just want to download a whole community because you need it for one of your other listings, or you want to just do a post about it, you'll have access. Like Eastmark, we have 40 photos, I think, and probably 10 videos.
That is amazing.
You can create
that
something.
amazing, right? So I get access to that. I have to be on this platform here to have access to all those media photos.
If you're just like I don't want to say a normal, we love all of our clients. If you're a traditional client, obviously AI is new. So if you're not doing our AI system and you order photos in
Eastmark,
Power Ranch, wherever, and you add community photos, we'll add those for free. We have them. So you just get them in your order. The difference is if you're a member or using, the monthly platform, you have 24/7 access to everything. So
and you can just download them and
download whenever you want,
phenomenal.
as opposed to right now you get the stock, but it's just once you've ordered and obviously paid for photos, then obviously we give them to you. But I mean, I wish we had a picture. We should have put a picture of what it looks like. You just type in Power Ranch, Eastmark, whatever it is, and it pulls up everything that we have.
And it's by city and community name. So if you work in a certain city, Goodyear, Scottsdale, you can type in Scottsdale and you can see all the community photos we have.
Yeah.
And we have 2 dedicated guys that are out. So if you're part of this, you can request, like if we don't have a community in there, it's no extra fee. You just say, can I get community photos of this community? So
Well, I think as no fun,
It's
Nick.
only
I think
going to
it's
grow.
for sure. And so my obligation for to say, if you don't have media access to Agent 4M and you're on Google and you're Googling community photos of
Mhm.
Eastmark and you use a Getty image copyrighted photo in your marketing, you're going to get slapped with a cease and desist. And it's not a joke. So
Mhm.
this is a very powerful value add that you can do for your social media posts without having to fight with the big guys and who's copyrighted all of the images on Google. So this is a really good way to getting around that.
Well, I don't know if I need Google. I don't know if I need Getty Images. I don't know if I need you guys because I got an iPhone. I can take my own pictures of my own listings in the community.
No.
Right.
Talk to me.
You're welcome.
We still see that out there.
All the time.
Uh-huh.
All the time. And I tell agents, it doesn't help you get your next listing.
No.
It might get the listing that you're doing now done and sold, but
It might save you money. That's all.
Right.
That's all it is. Because I feel like for me, the photography is the true reflection of your professionalism. Because the neighbors are going to see that listing when they go on Zillow and Realtor.com and so forth. And when you use your iPhone or you think you're a photographer, the next door neighbor's thinking about selling their home and sees that photography, I think that's possible. They've already checked out. They've already said no to you
right.
because they don't want their listing looking that bad. And that's why I think photography is, paying for professional photography. It's not even that. Anybody can pay for professional photography. It's paying for good photography. And that's what you guys
Yeah.
deliver.
And we understand that obviously it's more expensive than if you're doing it yourself. So we do our best to have these discount codes, make it obtainable, offer free when we can offer free, because we think it's worth it. Obviously, we're a little biased, but if you're not using a company, definitely should change, especially with the
Yeah.
amount of people that are realtors, the amount of people on social media. It's huge to use anything. And even if that just means starting with a pro photo and you add add-ons later on when you get comfortable, do it.
And please use the Get Your House Ready link we have for everybody.
The house is always ready.
I would challenge agents that feel like they're saving money not hiring a professional company like Agent 4M to do it on their next listing and see how easier the next listing comes. It really does snowball into professionalism.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that Nick and I will digress here. I think like if I'm going to use my iPhone because I want to save $120 or $140, I feel like I'm failing in my fiduciary responsibilities to my seller because now I am putting my personal pocketbook in front of helping sell their house.
100%. But as you made the comment earlier, and it's dead on, the only marketing you as a listing agent really get to do for the public is the photography. It's the top of the iceberg. No one sees the work, the communication, the contract negotiation, all the things that you're doing under the level. That's all hidden. The only thing that people get to see is the photography. So if you're skimping on that, what else are you skimping on?
He needs the keyboard.
All right. So yeah, I do need the keyboard because we do have to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So all right, great stuff. I think a lot of agents are going to have a lot of questions about this. And so what is the next step? What if they just have questions and want to chat with you guys about this?
So they could either call, phone numbers on the website. I can never remember it. Or they could talk to Ace. Ace is they can test out our chat, ask it questions, give it pricing.
But they have to go on your website to access Ace.
Agent4m.com. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And then you can call us. Of course, Taylor or I will answer any phone calls we get to. The number goes to both of us. And don't forget, if you join and you're one of the members, you get 15% off.
Yeah, this West 10 code is money. I mean, no pun intended. And I'll say this: the one thing I do appreciate about you guys is you do answer the phone, or you get back to us, and you're very, very responsive. Because that, to me, that's what we want to partner with, because it's always a partnership. It's not a one-way thing, but it's you guys have always very responsive, and for us and our team, we really appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So at the very, very least, Agent 4M is your source for posts, signs, photography. But you do need to check out ACE. You need to check out this whole AI thing. This is going to make your life easier. It's going to make you more money, and it's more importantly, it's going to generate more leads for you. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And Nick, we're
Thank
going to
you.
leave everybody with the quote of the day. Lack of direction, not lack of time is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. Appreciate everybody joining us. Go out and sell a home.